live soon. Yep. Good morning, Richmond High. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. All right, teachers, we accidentally set the settings that this was for kids, which disabled the chat. So if you can't see the chat, can you just refresh your YouTube and then the chat should pop up. All right, and we're gonna get started. So once again, good morning, Richmond High. Welcome to our last homeroom, number 8 of the year. We have doing something slightly different this time is we have right now an alumni panel. We're waiting for our current student to join the Zoom, but we're gonna get started because we have limited time. And teachers, if you don't see the chat on YouTube, refresh it and you should be able to chat. And so we have a few questions that we're gonna ask all of the panelists. And then students, if you have questions, let your teacher know and they can put them in the YouTube comments so we can ask the panel. So it could be questions you wanna know more about from something they say or something about their experience that you're trying to decide about that you wanna know if they have any experience with that. And with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Hazel.
Aloha and good morning, everyone. I'm Hazel Amina with the UC Berkeley Upward Bound program. So welcome all to our alumni panel. This is a great opportunity for us to learn about them and allow them to share their educational journeys and pathways with us. And so our first question to you all panelists is, please introduce yourself, include your name and graduating class, share with us the pathway you chose after high school, and which college you attended or planning to attend. If you could share about your major or intended major, and which high school academy you were a part of. And we'll go ahead and get started with Andre.
Hey everyone, my name is Andre. I am from the class of 2012, so I'm pretty old, but basically I went to school right after high school. I went to UC Santa Barbara, same as Miss Jan, so you might see her cheering over there. I actually was in Upward Bound with Hazel, and me and Angie, I'm so old, I got to see when Angie first started. So, so that's how old I am. But so I went to UC Santa Barbara for college, graduated from there in 2016 with a major in theater. While I was at Richmond High, I was in the Multimedia Academy, which I will tell you right now changed my life, because in the time we were editing videos and doing all this graphic design. I was like, why are we doing this? And now I do that work. So things come full circle. But yeah, so that is me. Oh, and I majored in theater.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jamie. excuse me. I graduated in 2015, and I was part of the Kappa Academy, Creative and Performing Arts, which is very interesting because that's exactly what I do now. After I graduated high school, I went on to become a professional entertainer. I'm a professional spoken word poet. I'm an actor, and I also teach spoken word poetry inside of schools. I graduated from Cal State East Bay in Hayward in 2020 last year, and I got my bachelor's degree in English with a focus in creative writing because I love writing.
Hello, my name is Ryan Seychell, and I recently graduated from Richmond High last year, so class of 2020. I was in the Health Academy, and I'm currently at CCC or Contra Costa College. But recently I just found out that I got into USC, so I'll be attending USC next fall. And my attended major is political science at the moment.
Awesome. Thank you, panelists. So I think we're having technical difficulties with one of our other panelists, but when she's able to rejoin, we'll have her introduce herself. I'm going to go ahead and get started with question number 2, I guess. What summer activities did you take part in while at Richmond High School? Andre, if you want to get us started.
Yeah, so I was in Upward Bound my whole Richmond High career. So that took basically my whole summer. So I didn't really have a summer. I went from school. We would have like maybe a weekend off, and then we went right back into school at UC Berkeley. But it was such a great experience because I got to we got to live in the dorms at UC Berkeley. So I got to experience what dorm living was like before going to college. So that made that process when meeting people in college a lot simpler. And then other than that, then I would come into Richmond High early. I'm a nerd, so I come in early, come help them set up everything because I was always so excited to meet all the new people that would come every year. So that was, and then we also did film projects. So I wrote a film when I was a sophomore at Richmond High, like a little short film. And so during the summer, although that was after I graduated, so maybe doesn't count, but we filmed some of it at Richmond High. And then I heard that later they filmed another version of it. So that is what I did. What about you, Jamie?
I also did Upward Bound, but I'm jealous because I didn't do it all 4 years of high school. I did it the last 2 years of high school. So similar to Andre, I was staying on the UC Berkeley campus. We were in this really big castle, the oldest dorm in UC Berkeley, Bowles Hall, and it was a lot of fun. I also did another thing. I forgot the name of it, but it was like courses at Richmond High you took. And it wasn't mandatory. It wasn't summer school, but it was like summer school. Completely forgot the name of it. Summer Bridge. Yes, thank you, Ms. Jan. I was like, it's something, summer something. Yeah, I also did Summer Bridge for a year, which was really cool. Got to hang out with my friends outside of the school year. And that's really the only reason I did it, was just to hang out with my friends more over the summer.
For me, my freshman year, I was in the EAOP college program. My freshman year, I attended their pre-college academy, PCA, with UC Berkeley, and took classes with teachers and learned a little bit about different things. And then my sophomore year, summer, I interned with the city of San Pablo, and I worked with Helms Middle School students during their summer program. And then my junior year, I interned with the YMCA of San Francisco. And I learned a little bit about like nonprofits and stuff. And then my senior year, since it was COVID, it was kind of just a chill and relaxing transition to college.
Thank you. Excellent. I'm so glad all of you got connected. For those of you who are watching, we do encourage you to join one of our programs because there's many summer opportunities available to you. We'll be sure to drop the link in there so you can sign up for one of the programs and be a part of any of these college readiness programs. Our next question for the panelists, Andre, you lost your background. It asks, what school-related activities were you involved in at Richmond High School? So besides the ones you mentioned, is there any other clubs or activities that you were a part of? And we'll start with Andre.
Yeah, I was a part of, I want to say like everything to some extent. I I remember Jamie back. Hey, it's nice to see you again, man. But yeah, I just really was a curious person, so I would jump and try to see everything. But I was in at the East Bay Center of Performing Arts in Richmond. There learning like piano, guitar, and ballet, which I didn't know how to dance at all. Then I learned ballet, and now I know how to dance a lot better. So, hey, if you're the guy want to do ballet, I say try it. Then I was also like part of doing the films at Richmond High and part of everything like that. I was part of 100 Black Men, which was a program that was for Black men on campus to connect, which was really one of my first times feeling like I had that support system, which especially moving to LA has been so important. Like a couple weekends ago, we all are vaccinated, let's say that first and foremost, but me and a group of 6 Black men all went to Richmond High, but one, but 2, but another one was in Upward Bound. We all went to Mexico together on like a guy's trip, and it just felt great to be around that energy, and that's because of being in 100 Black Men and making that connection. And so I was a chameleon and tried to be a part of everything because my thought process is if I don't know about it, then I'll go throughout my whole life not knowing about it. So I just wanted to learn about everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Andre, I was laughing because I was like, I did the exact same thing. At Richmond High, I had my hands in everything. The first year that Link Crew started at Richmond High, I was one of the people who were able to join Link Crew. So I interviewed for it as a junior because they did the interview process the year before. And then my senior year, 2014 to 2015, was the first year Richmond High did Link Crew, at least to my knowledge. They didn't do it any years before when I was there. I was one of the first people to do it. So I was like mentoring freshmen and sophomores, making sure that their grades was up. I was even like adopting other freshmen, who like weren't in my cohort. I was like, look, your mentors are doing a good job. I got you. And I'm actually still kind of cool with some of those people, which is like really funny. Like I was all about like helping people, making sure that people, had the tools they needed to get ready. I was in the Black Student Union. We were performing at events throughout the school year. We were doing stepping, we were dancing. I was in a lot of the plays that went on because I was in the Kappa Academy. All of the quarterly events that Miss Takiba would put on. Similar to Andre, I took jazz ballet or jazz dance, whatever Miss Takiba called it. And I was like one of the only 2 guys in my class, and it was amazing. That class, we stretched every day. So I was able to do the splits, y'all, and I'm trying to get back there. I'm really trying to get back there. So yeah, I just had my hands in everything, in all of the shows and all of the events. And it was just a lot of fun being able to try stuff out.
Similar like to everyone else, I was kind of involved in a lot of things. So I might be able to name all of them. But one of my big ones that I done throughout my high school journey was being class president for my class throughout my 4 years. And I also was a part of the club Kiwins, which was like a community service club where I was heavily involved in throughout my 4 years. And And like Jamie, I was also a part of theater, and I was in theater for my freshman year and my junior year for 2 musicals. And then I was in yearbook in leadership class.
All right, thanks you guys. And for our next question here, I want you guys to think a little bit about maybe your time back in high school and think, what do you wish you would have known back in high school that you know now? Would it be like an experience or something that you can maybe go back and say, maybe I did something different or something like that?
That none of it matters. I know that is like as dark as we get. The grades and everything do matter. Let me start there. So grades and schoolwork and learning and making connections with people, that all matters. But all this other thing from relationships, like the person I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life, we're in two completely different places in life now. The arguments and fights that I almost got into, like some of these people were best friends now. It's just like a lot of the drama that you go through on a day-to-day basis of just trying to be someone going to school, like it's a lot. But when looking back on it, knowing that none of it really matters because life just continues moving on and you continue growing and learning from experiences, I think I wish I would have had that thought process back then, because it would have made me take more chances back then that I am now taking.
Yeah, I really resonate with what you said, Andre. I'm gonna keep this very short, but this is a part of a very long story. When I was a junior, I got really depressed because, high school. And then as a senior, it was like about like a 7-month bout of depression. And once I got out of that, I was just very jaded in my senior year. And usually I was the person that people could come to with like their problems. I was trying to talk with everybody, everyone. But as a senior, I was like, I'm going to graduate in a couple of months and I'm not going to see like most of you. Right. So not to be like mean or anything, but I really started focusing on like those core friendships that I had. And when I graduated high school, 2 people who I was friends with, we started a poetry slam together. We ran that for a couple of years. They still run that, but I stepped away so I can focus on teaching. 2 of my other best friends, we still keep in contact. We, hit each other up. We play the PlayStation with each other. But all of this to say, like, I stopped looking for attention and I stopped trying to solve everybody's problem. And I think that that was like one of the greatest things that I learned in senior year. I was like, I don't need everyone's attention. I don't need everyone's approval. I got like these 4 or 5 friends who I'm like cool with, who I can see me being cool with after we graduate. And that's exactly what happened. So like, I went from like this social butterfly to like, and not that I was mean about it or anything, but I was just like, I want to focus my energy with the people who I know are going to matter to me 3 years from now. And I feel like that's a lesson I learned very late in high school that I would encourage people to start thinking about now. If there's a group of friends who you're not really vibing with, who, there's just like a lot of drama, maybe you just don't need that in your life.
Yeah. What do I wish I would have known in high school? I think now that I decided to take a route of going to community college, because throughout high school it was kind of like, oh, I should go to college and I should do the traditional route of going from high school to going to college. But being able to change that and go the non-traditional route kind of made me open-minded of my journey, and kind of that, everyone's journey is different, and that sometimes some people take different routes and different and things happen. And I felt like through that experience of going to community college and doing this experience, I learned a lot about just finding my own journey, and being able to do things on my own terms, for me. So yeah.
And to quickly piggyback off that, is something we were talking about in a group yesterday. There is nothing wrong with going to community college before you like transfer to like a university or anything. You're gonna save a lot of money. You're gonna be in smaller classes where you can work more closely with the professors. So it's not something I did, but it's something I advocate for. Because there's such a stigma about like going to CC. There's nothing wrong with going to a community college. So if that's something you're interested in to save money or whatever, don't be ashamed about that.
And piggybacking, definitely agree with that. Even though I went straight to a 4-year university, I had to take extra classes, and instead of doing it at my university, I did it at CC. So there's still so many chances, and I think one of my classes I've had at CC was life-changing, even more so than anything at UC Santa Barbara. So I think college is college, and it's about what you do with the education that you get that's important.
Thank y'all for sharing all your wisdom and for addressing that stigma. But our next question is, what support resources helped you along the way? So at Richmond High, or if y'all are at college, what resources did you get help with at college as well?
At Richmond High, just like I was saying earlier, everything I could. So I was in Upward Bound. I was not in College is Real, but basically in College is Real. I was in EAOP. I was anything 100 Black Men, anything that I could do to get ahead in that mindset. I would take AP classes. I do all of that preparation. Did it prepare me for college? Yes, to some degree, but definitely I would say the studying and being very, very proficient in doing that. And then once I got to college, I realized that it's a whole different level, like a whole different level. And so I joined programs like EOP, which is for first generation college students. And I joined things. I'm a foster youth, so I was in programs for foster care called Guardian Scholars there, which was an amazing place. I was in the BSU, and even more so this group called B Pro. So BSU is the Black Student Union, and then B Pro is again trying to carry the tradition of 100 Black Men, a Black man's group on campus. I was an RA. I also was an off-campus senator. So I ran for office while I was there and was that. So I tried to do, I remember telling Angie, because I had originally gotten into Merced, I said, I'm going to be the biggest thing on campus at Merced. And I did not go to Merced, but then I went to Santa Barbara and tried to do that and achieved it. And I don't feel happy about, like, there was no, like Jamie was saying earlier, there's nothing like great about all the attention and everything. But what I will say about college and making those connections is that you just learn so much from people that there's things I still am putting into my life today from what I learned in college.
I know we're running low on time, so I'm going to keep my answer very short. I would say the classes that prepared me the most for college was actually my theater classes, because when I graduated, I went to be a performer. And in fact, the first big commercial I ever did, it premiered at the Grammys. It was shown all over the country. They tried to rip me off really, really bad. And I'm incredibly angry about that. But shout out to Miss Eugenia Ives, wherever she's at. She was my old theater teacher. I know she doesn't work at Richmond High anymore. She pretended to be my manager, and she scared the heck out of that company until they like paid me what they should have paid me. So like just having those kind of relationships, even though I was graduated, having to reach out to my old teacher, just be like, look, they're trying to rip me off. I know you have experience with Hollywood. I need your help. And she came through. So the theater classes, the theater teachers, the English teachers. Shout out to the English teachers. That's all I'm gonna say.
And answering the question about the resources that helped me along the way, I think the main ones would be my teachers at Richmond High. I think they really helped support me and just like a mentor to guide me, like Jamie said, to be there to help you. So I felt like having the teachers was a real support system, and also the different programs that I was able to do and the staff members. So yeah.
Right, thanks guys. So there is one student question that came through the YouTube that I want to make sure we answer, which is, did the classes from RHS prepare you for college? And if there are any that stand out, of which ones that really helped you for college?
I think my AP English and both my AP English classes really prepared me, as well as all the work I was doing at Upward Bound. And then I would say there's one more class I'm in econ. Econ helped a lot.
For me, it was my English classes. I graduated as an English major. So shout out to all the English teachers I had, because I really, really feel like they prepared me. Miss Bowie, Miss Fitch, Miss Moreno, all the English teachers I had, like they were like constantly like preparing me. And then like when I went to college, you see their intentions. I understood the things that they were doing. So yeah, I would say that in my career and in my college experience, all of the English classes I took were probably the most influential.
For me, I think the classes did it prepare me for college? I think yes. Holistically, if we're looking at all the classes, I think all the classes helped me prepare. But I think one that really inspired me to follow this passion of working in my community was definitely my Health Academy electives, being in the Public Health Solutions Academy, and also being in the Mind Matters class my senior year. So yeah, I think that all helped me, and also just yeah.
All right, so thank you, Jamie, Andre, and Ryan for joining us. Thank you, Richmond High teachers and students for joining us. Unfortunately, Fernanda had technical difficulties with her internet connection, so hopefully the next panel we have, she will be here. We were trying to make it gender balanced, but that didn't quite work. Have a good rest of your day and your week, Richmond High.
Go Oilers! Woo, woo, woo!